All right, so you've got that dreaded check engine light glaring at you, and the scan tool spits out P0100. Yep, you're in exactly the right place. We're going to break down what this common code means and, more importantly, give you a solid step-by-step plan to get your car running right again. So, let's get into it.
You know, that little light on your dash? It's basically your car trying to tell you something. And a P0100 code is a pretty specific message. It's pointing a finger directly at the circuit for your mass airflow sensor, or, as we all call it, the MAF sensor. But hey, the good news? This is often something you can totally figure out and even fix right in your own driveway.
Okay, so what is this code? Let's decode the engine's message.
So P0100 stands for a mass airflow circuit malfunction. In plain English, your car's main computer, its brain, is looking at the signal coming from the MAF sensor and it just doesn't make any sense. The signal could be all over the place, or maybe it's not there at all. And this is a big deal because the computer needs that info to figure out the perfect air-fuel mix to keep your engine happy.
Here's a super simple way to picture it. Think of your engine's MAF sensor as its lungs. It's literally telling the car's computer exactly how much air it's breathing in at any given moment. So a P0100 code? That's the brain getting totally mixed signals about those breaths. And that confusion, well, that's what's causing all those annoying performance issues.
So, before we do anything else, we got to find this thing, right? Your first stop is the air intake box. Just follow the big plastic tube that goes from there to the engine. The MAF sensor is almost always located right on that duct. Let's look at a couple of real-world examples to make this super clear. See here on this Silverado? It's right there on the air duct, just past the air filter box. And on the Corolla, same deal. It's positioned right on that duct after the filter housing. So pop your hood and look in that same general area. You'll spot it, no problem. All right, let's talk symptoms of a MAF problem. How does your car act out when this sensor is on the fritz? So, does any of this sound familiar? Your car's idling really rough, or maybe it's even stalling out. It's a pain to start, and when you hit the gas, it hesitates or surges. These are all classic signs. You might also notice you're suddenly getting terrible gas mileage, or worse, you're seeing black smoke puffing out the tailpipe. That's a dead giveaway your engine's running way too rich, because it's getting bad data. Okay, now for the fun part. Let's start fixing this thing. We're going to hit the easy first checks. You always want to start here. It'll save you a ton of time and, let's be honest, a ton of money. We've got 3 easy targets right off the bat. First, inspect the air filter. Second, check the wiring and connectors. And third, we're going to try cleaning the MAF sensor. Seriously, you'd be amazed how often one of these 3 things is the actual culprit. Step 1, and you might not even believe this, but a super clogged air filter can actually starve the engine of air. It can restrict the flow so much that it fools the MAF sensor into throwing a code. So, before you do anything else, pop open that air box. If the filter looks like a dirty old welcome mat, just replace it. It's the cheapest, easiest place to start, period. And remember, the code is for a circuit malfunction, which is key. Just like this says, anything wrong with the wiring is going to cause the same symptoms as a bad MAF sensor. So the problem might not even be the sensor itself. Get in there and really look at the wiring harness and the connector. Are there any frayed wires? Is there green crusty corrosion on the pins? Or is the plug just not seated all the way? You gotta check. And while we're talking about wiring, don't forget the simplest check of all, the fuse. On a 2016 Honda CR-V, for example, it's the ACG number 2 fuse. The MAF sensor is on a fused circuit, so a tiny little blown fuse could be your entire problem. Check your owner's manual to find the right one, pull it out, and take a look. It takes 2 seconds. Okay, so the filter's clean and the wiring looks solid. Next up, let's try cleaning the MAF sensor. Now, listen up, because this is super important. You have to use a cleaner made specifically for MAF sensors. Do not, I repeat, do not use carb cleaner or brake cleaner on it. You will absolutely destroy it. Just give the little delicate wires a few gentle sprays, and whatever you do, don't touch them. Then just let it air dry completely before you put it back in the car. All right, so you did all the easy stuff, you cleared the code, took it for a drive, and the light came right back on. Okay. Don't worry. It just means it's time to investigate some deeper problems. So, one big possibility is a vacuum leak. This is basically any unmetered air that's sneaking into the engine after the MAF sensor. The computer has no idea that air's there, so it throws the fuel mixture all out of whack. A smoke machine is the pro way to find it, but you can also try the old-school liquid spray method.
With the engine running, you just spray a little carb cleaner around the intake gaskets and hoses. If the engine's idle suddenly changes, boom, you've found your leak.
Here's another one, though it's a little less common: a restricted exhaust. If your catalytic converter or muffler is all clogged up, the engine can't breathe out. It's like you trying to exhale through a tiny coffee stir. This big backup can sometimes trigger a P0100 code, but honestly, you'll probably have a bunch of other exhaust-related codes pop up too.
So you've checked everything else and you still have the code? Well, if the air filter is new, the wiring is perfect, and you're sure there are no leaks, then all signs start pointing to one thing. It might finally be time to test or replace the sensor itself.
Now, the only way to be 100% sure is to use a scan tool that shows live data. You can actually watch the reading from the math sensor in grams per second. If that number is just stuck at 0, or it's jumping around like crazy while the engine is running steady, yeah, you can be pretty darn sure the sensor is toast.
Okay, that was a lot to cover. So let's wrap this all up with your P010 action plan. A final recap.
So here it is, your diagnostic funnel, all laid out. Remember, you start at the top with the easy stuff and work your way down. Number 1, inspect that air filter. 2, check all the wiring, the connector, and the fuse. 3, give the MAF sensor a good cleaning. If you're still stuck, move on to 4, checking for vacuum leaks. Then 5, look for exhaust restrictions. And only after all that, as a last resort, do you get to step 6, test or replace the MAF sensor.
And one last thing, and this is super important. After you do any repair, you have to plug that scan tool back in and clear the code. Then, and this is the key, take the car for a good long test drive to make absolutely sure that check engine light stays off and you've really fixed the problem for good.
So there you go. You've got the knowledge now that P0100 code can feel like a real pain. But now you see, if you just follow a logical process, you can absolutely track down what's wrong. You know what to do. Now you can go out there and solve that code.